what is the probability of missing the target? Means 1 minus probability of A, that is 1 minus 7 by 10. 1 minus 7 by 10 is nothing but 10 minus 7 by 10, that's equal to 3 by 10. The possible events are 4C2 plus 4C2. Both are kings or queen means, so 4C2 plus 4C2, right? What is the formula? Probability of A union B is equal to probability of A plus probability of B minus probability of A intersection B. Hello dear students, welcome to this session of basic mathematics class. I am Mr. Niranjan, faculty department of mathematics, Vidhyaashram PU College, the Temple of Excellence. So in my previous class we have discussed regarding problems on probability based on classical approach. Now today in this session I am going to take few more problems based on a classical approach, as well as the problems that is based on complementary events and the problems based on the theorems of probability. So today let me discuss regarding the complementary events, then the problems based on theorems on probability. Suppose if A is an event, if A is any event, then the complement of this event is nothing but P of A dash is called the complement of A. P of A dash is the complement of A, and given by P of A dash is equal to 1 minus probability of A. So 1 minus probability of A is called the complement of A, denoted as P of A dash. Now based on this, let us take one example. Now suppose if P of A is equal to 3 by 5, when what is the complement of A, that is P of A dash. So we know the probability of A dash is equal to 1 minus probability of A, that is 1 minus 3 by 5. Take LCM, 5 is the LCM. 5 minus 3, that's equal to 2 by 5. So the probability of not A dash, the complement of A is P of A dash is equal to 2 by 5. That's it. This is the required answer. Okay. So what is the formula for P of A dash? P of A dash is equal to 1 minus P of A, that is 1 minus 3 by 5, that's equal to 5 minus 3 by 5 is equal to 2 by 5 is the required answer. Okay. Hope you followed. Now move on to the next problem. Ved, that is ved, hits the target 7 times out of 10 shots. Find its probability of missing the target. Suppose if the probability of A, here what is the probability? Ved hits the target 7 times out of 10, 7 by 10. So what is the probability of missing the target is P of A dash, that's all, the complement. So what is the formula for P of A dash? P of A dash is equal to 1 minus P of A, that's equal to 1 minus 7 by 10. So take LCM, 10 is the LCM, 10 minus 7, that's equal to 3 by 10. So the probability of A dash, nothing but probability of missing the target is 3 divided by 10. That's it. So when it hits the target 7 times out of 10, then what is the probability that missing the target? So what is the probability for 7 by 10? P of A is equal to 7 by 10. What is the probability of missing the target? Means 1 minus probability of A, that is 1 minus 7 by 10. 1 minus 7 by 10 is nothing but 10 minus 7 by 10, that's equal to 3 by 10. 3 by 10 is the probability of missing the target. Very simple for 1 or 2 marks. Now move on to the next problem. So if P of A dash is equal to 0.65, probability of A union B is equal to 0.65, and find the probability of B. Here what is given? Probability of A dash is given. The complement, probability of A dash is 0.65. Even probability of A union B is also given. That's also equal to 0.65. What is to find? The probability of B is to be determined. Okay. Now, so we know the formula. Just find out the probability of A dash is equal to 1 minus probability of A, or if you interchange this, probability of A is also equal to 1 minus probability of A dash. So what is A dash? A dash is equal to 0.65. 1 minus 0.65 is nothing but 0.35 is the probability of A. So here probability of A is 0.35. Now what is to find is the probability of B. So using this theorem, we know probability of A union B is equal to probability of A plus probability of B right? So here probability of A, what is probability of A? 0.35. What is probability of B? We don't know. What is probability of A union B? 0.65. So 0.65 minus 0.35 is equal to probability of B. So this is 0.30 is equal to probability of B. So therefore probability of B is equal to 0.30. That's it. This is how we are going to solve this problem. Okay. See here, very simple problem. Let me explain. Probability of A dash is given, that is 0.65. Probability of A union B is given 0.65. What is required to find is probability of B. Now we know that probability of A dash is equal to 1 minus probability of A, or interchange this. Probability of A is also equal to 1 minus probability of A dash. 1 minus P of A dash is 0.65. 1 minus 0.65 is 0.35. Now just you know this formula, probability of A union B is equal to probability of A plus probability of B. What is probability of A union B? 0.65. And what is probability of A? That is 0.35. What is required to find is probability of B. Just transfer this. Plus 0.35 becomes minus 0.35. 0.65 minus 0.35 is equal to 0.30 is the probability of B. So hence the required answer, probability of B is equal to 0.30. That's it. Okay. Now move on to the next problem. So the occurrence, the statement, the occurrence of two events A and B are 1/4 and 1/2 respectively. The occurrence of two statements A and B. Now the probability of their simultaneous occurrence is 7/50. What is the probability neither A nor B occur? So here the occurrence of A is given, the occurrence of B is given, and the probability of their simultaneous occurrence is also given, that is 7/50. Then what is the probability of neither A nor B occur? So probability of neither A nor B occur is to be determined. Okay. Now listen, what is given here? The occurrence of the event. So probability of A is given, that is 1/4, and the occurrence of an event B, that is probability of B is given 1/2, and the simultaneous occurrence of A and B is given, that is nothing but probability of A intersection B, that's equal to 7/50. Then what is to find? What is the probability of neither A nor B? Probability of neither A means A dash, nor means intersection B dash. So this is to be determined. Probability of A dash intersection B dash is to be determined. So we know the formula for probability of A dash intersection B dash is equal to 1 minus probability of A union B. That's it. So find out the probability of A union B and substitute, you will get the answer. Very simple, right? Now what is find out first? Probability of A union B. Probability of A union B is equal to probability of A plus probability of B minus probability of A intersection B. What is probability of A? 1/4. Probability of B is 1/2 minus probability of A intersection B is 7/50. Take LCM and simplify. That's it. That will give the answer. Take LCM and simplify. Now, if you take the LCM for 4, 2 and 50, so 15 to 2 is 100. 100 is the LCM. If you divide 100 by 4, it will be 25 times, plus again if you divide 100 by 2, it will be 50 times, minus if you divide 100 by 50, it means 2 7s are 14. So what is this equal to? 75 minus 14. 75 minus 14 will be the answer. 75 minus 14 divided by 100. So 75 minus 14 is nothing but 5 minus 4 is 1. 7 minus 1 is 6. 61 divided by 100. Substitute here. So this is equal to 1 minus probability of A union B is 61 divided by 100. Take LCM. 100 is the LCM. 100 minus 61. That's equal to 39 divided by 100. Okay. Simplify this. So if it's possible to simplify, simplify. Otherwise, you can keep here itself. So that's it. So here see, the probability of A is given 1/4. Probability of B is 1/2. Probability of A intersection B is 7/50. What is to find is probability of A intersection B. That is nothing but A dash intersection B dash is equal to 1 minus probability of A union B. You know what is the formula for probability of A union B? Is probability of A plus probability of B minus probability of A intersection B, 1 by 4 plus 1 by 2 minus 7 by 50, take LCM, 100 is the LCM. So you can divide 100 from 4, 25 times, again, so you can divide 100 by 2, 50 times, and again 50 divides 100 2 times, 7 2s are 14, 50 plus 25 is 75 minus 14 is 61. So 1 minus 61 by 100 is nothing but 39 divided by 100. So the required answer is 39 divided by 100 is the required answer. That's it. Hope you followed. Now, let us move on to the next problem. Now, what is the problem here? A problem in a question paper is given to 3 students. How many students? 3 students. The probabilities that they are solving the problem is 0.5, 0.7 and 0.8 respectively. Find the probability that the problem will be solved. So, a question paper is given to 3 students. How many students? 3 students. What is their probability of solving the question paper is also given. So, the probability of solving the question paper by one student is 0.5, the other student is 0.7 and the third student is 0.8. Then, if such is the case, what is the probability that the problem will be solved? Okay. Now, just write down what is given first. So, here what is given? Probability of solving the question by a student A is 0.5 and probability of solving the question by B is 0.7 and probability of solving the question by the third student C is 0.8. Now just find out the probability of not solving the question. So A dash, P of A dash is equal to 1 minus P of A, that is nothing but 1 minus 0.5, that's equal to 0.5. Similarly, probability of B dash not solving the question is 1 minus probability of B. 1 minus P of B is 0.7. 1 minus 0.7 is 0.3. And probability of C dash is equal to 1 minus probability of C, that is 1 minus probability of C is 0.8. So 1 minus 0.8 is 0.2. So these are the probability of not solving the question. And 0.5, 0.7, 0.8 are the probability of solving the question. Right. Now, just the probability of the question solved. Find the probability of problem solved. Probability of problem solved is equal to, probability of problem solved is equal to 1 minus probability of problem not solved by anyone. That's the answer. So probability of problem solved is equal to 1 minus probability of a problem not solved by anyone. Now problem solved is equal to 1 minus probability of problem not solved by anyone is nothing but probability of A dash, B dash and C dash. That's it. Okay. Now what is this equal to? Very simple. So this is equal to 1 minus probability of A dash into probability of B dash into probability of C dash. 1 minus, what is probability of A dash? 0.5. 0.5 into probability of B dash is 0.3 into probability of C dash is this. So 1 minus 0.5 into 0.3 into 0.2 will give the answer. That's it. So this is equal, if you multiply 1 minus, so 5 3s are 15, 15 2s are 30, that is 0.03. So 1 minus 0.03 is equal to 0.97. So this is the probability of the problem solved. Okay. So very simple. The probability of problem solved is equal to 1 minus probability of not solving the problem by anyone, that is equal to 1 minus probability of A dash into probability of B dash into probability of C dash, that's equal to 1 minus probability of A dash into probability of B dash into probability of C dash. 0.5 into 0.3 into 0.2, 1 minus 0.03, that's equal to 0.97 is the probability of solving the problem from that question paper. Now move on to the next problem. Now next problem, 2 cards are drawn from a well shuffled pack of 52 cards. What is the probability that they both are queens or both are king cards? Here 2 cards are drawn at random from a well shuffled pack, that is deck of 52 cards. What is the probability that either both are queens or both cards are kings? So what is the probability of getting both the cards as queen or king. That is nothing but the question. Now just what is given? So here the number of cards in this is 52 cards, right? Now just find out the possible event first. So 2 cards, how many cards we are going to draw? So 2 cards are drawn from 52 cards. So 2 cards are drawn from 50. So therefore the possible ways are 52C2, right? 2 cards are drawn from 52. Now then what are the possible events here? So what are the possible favorable cases? So we are drawing, what are the conditions given? Both queens are queen, both the cards are queen or king. So there are the possible events are 4C2 plus 4C2. Both are kings or queen means, so 4C2 plus 4C2, right? So the favorable cases are 4C2, 4 king, 4C2 and 4C2. That is both are queen or both are kings. Now what is the probability for this? So the probability of, therefore probability of both are queen or both are kings is equal to this probability of 4C2 plus 4C2 divided by the total probability 52C2. This will give the answer. That's it. Okay. So what is this equal to? 4C2 means 4 into 3 divided by 2 plus 4C2. This is also 4 into 3 divided by 2 whole divided by 52C2 means that is nothing but 52 into 51, because what is the formula for this? 52C2 can be written as 52 factorial divided by 2 into 52 minus 2 is 50 factorials. So 50 gets cancelled. So what is left over is 52 into 51 divided by 2 is the, simplify this. If you simplify this, this is 4 3s are 12 by 2. So 4 3s are 12 by 2 is nothing but 6. 6 plus 6 divided by, so if you divide this, how many times? 2 1s are, 2 2s are, 2 2s are 4, 2 6 are 12, 26 into 51. So 26 into 51. What is this equal to? 12 divided by 26 into 51. That's it. Okay. So if you multiply this, we'll get 1 3 2 6. Divide it. That's it. So if you divide by 2, what you will get? So here in the denominator, if you divide by 2, you will get 663, in the numerator 6. So the required answer is 6 divided by 663. That's it. Okay. So if you want, you can further divide it as by 3, 2 by 221. So that's it. So the final answer is 2 by 221. Now move on to the next problem. This is very important problem. There are 20 boys and 60 girls in a class. Half of the girls and half of the boys are first class students. A student is selected at random. What is the probability that the student is either a boy or a first class holder? Very important problem. Now just find out n of s. How many students are there? N of s is equal to 20 girls plus 60 boys. So totally 80 students are there in a class. So and half of the boys are first class students. Okay. Now suppose if the student is a boy, is denoted as n of a. N of a is nothing but student is a boy. So how many students are there? That is yes, a student is a boy. That means here there are 60 boys. N of a is equal to 60. Okay. N of a is equal to 60. Now listen to me. So the number of students in the class is 20 plus 60, 20 girls and 60 boys, totally 80 students are there. Now let N of a is nothing but the number of students is a boy, the boy students, number of boy students are N of a is equal to 60. Now what is the probability of a? P of a is equal to, now find out the probability of a. So here P of a is equal to N of a divided by N of s. So what is N of a? N of a is 60 divided by 80, that is nothing but, so divide by 2, 2 3s are, 2 4s are, 3 by 4 is the probability of a. Now let us define B as the first class student. So if B is nothing but the first class student, right, these are the two conditions given. One is the boy, another one, yes. So a student is selected at a random. So that is half of the boys are first class students Right, half of the girls and half of the boys are first class students. A student is selected at random. What is the probability that the student is either boy or a first class? So here, let us consider B as the first class student. Then, what is the probability of B? B is equal to, now what is the condition given? So, half of the girls and half of the boys are first class students, right? So that means the first class students are nothing but half of the boys and half of the girls, that is 10 plus 30, that's equal to 40. Therefore, probability of B is equal to, probability, this is N of B actually, number of boys. So probability of B is equal to 40 divided by 60, that's equal to 4 by 6 means 2 2s are 2 3s are. So probability of A is 3 by 4, probability of B is 2 by 3. Okay. Let me write the probability. This is N of B. N of B is 40. Therefore, the probability of B is equal to 40 divided by total number of students 80. So that's equal to 4 by 8 means 4 ones are 4 twos are. 1 by 2 is the probability of B. So probability of A is 3 by 4. Probability of B is 1 by 2. Okay. Now let A intersection B. A intersection B is equal to 30. That is, A intersection B, student is a boy and a first class holder, that is equal to 30. So therefore, probability of A intersection B is equal to, a student is a boy and a first class holder is 30 divided by total number of students, that is 30 divided by 80. That's equal to 3 by 8. Okay. Now just find out probability of A union B. That means the probability of a student is either a boy or a first class student is probability of A union B. What is the formula? Probability of A union B is equal to probability of A plus probability of B minus probability of A intersection B. What is probability of A? 3 by 4. Right. What is probability of B? 1 by 2 plus 1 by 2. Minus probability of A intersection B is 3 by 8. Now take LCM and simplify it. That's it. So 8 is the LCM. So 2 times gets cancelled. 3 2s are 6. If you divide 8 by 2, it will cancel by 4 times. 4 1s are 4 minus 3. So this is 6 plus 1 divided by 8. That's equal to 7 by 8 is the probability. That's it. Okay. The required answer is 7 by 9. That's it. Now, this is how we are going to solve the problem. Hope you followed. Now, these are few problems based on the theorems. Now, let us move on to some important theorems on this. The very important theorem based on these problems. Now, probabilities are two important theorems. So, in probability, we are going to study there are two important theorems. That is, addition theorem, theorem on total probability, and multiplication theorem, theorem of compound probability. Now, what is this addition theorem? So, case 1, when the events are mutually exclusive. If the events are mutually exclusive, if two events A and B are mutually exclusive, means the probability of occurrence of either A or B is probability of A plus probability of B. So, that is, if two events A and B are mutually exclusive, then the probability of occurrence of either A or occurrence of B is A or B. That is equal to probability of A plus probability of B. So, or A union B is equal to probability of A plus probability of B. Or A plus B is equal to probability of A plus probability of B. Now, in general, if A, B, C, D, etc. are mutually exclusive events, then probability of A union B union C union D, etc. is equal to probability of A plus probability of B plus probability of C, etc. for mutually exclusive events. For any three events A, B and C, probability of A union B union C is equal to probability of A plus probability of B plus probability of C minus probability of A intersection B minus B intersection C minus C intersection A plus probability of A intersection B intersection C. This is very important formula, right, for any three events A, B, C. Now, conditional probability. What is conditional probability means? Suppose if A and B are any two events, let A and B are any two events, then the conditional probability of A given A is the probability of happening of B when it is known that A has already occurred, A is already happened. So, the conditional probability of A and B of two events, the conditional probability of two events A and B is that the conditional of given A is Probability of B is already occurred is denoted as probability of B by A and probability of B by A. So that is given by probability of B by A, and probability of B by A is given by probability of A intersection B divided by probability of. Suppose if you want to write the probability of A by B, then the probability of A by B is equal to probability of A intersection B divided by probability of B if already B is occurred. In this already A is occurred is given by probability of A intersection B by probability of A. If A is occurred, here in this case, if B is already occurred, probability of A by B is probability of A intersection B divided by probability of B. Now, so probability of A by B is also equal to probability of A intersection B divided by probability of B. If you cross multiply, you will get this relation. So the probability of happening of B when nothing is known about the happening of A is called unconditional probability of B. So if the happening of B when nothing is known about the happening of A is called a unconditional probability of B. Right. Now the last multiplication theorem. What is multiplication theorem? When the events are independent, if the events are independent, if two events are independent, then the probability that both A and B will occur is, if the events are independent, that means it does not depend on the occurrence of the other. So in that case, probability of A and B is equal to probability of A into probability of B, or probability of A intersection B is also equal to probability of A into probability of B in case of a independent event. So in case of independent event, probability of A and B is equal to probability of A into B, that is nothing but probability of A intersection B is equal to probability of A into probability of B. Now, if A, B, C, D are independent events, then probability of A intersection B intersection C intersection D is equal to probability of A into probability of B into probability of C into probability of D. Right. Now, suppose case 2, when the events are dependent, if the events are dependent, if two events A and B are dependent, then the probability of that both events A and B will occur is given by probability of A and B is equal to probability of A into probability of B by A. That is, A intersection B is equal to probability of A into probability of B by A. This is in case of dependent events. That is, so if two events A and B are dependent, then the probability that both the events A and B will occur is given by probability of A intersection B is equal to probability of A into probability of B by A. So these are few concepts based on the theorem. So that's all regarding today's session. Let us meet with different types of problems in the next session. Thank you. Thank you very much.